You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
We have a code of ethics on this board, and Thomas Whitaker Raven Crowfoot is a sex offender, a repeat offender, and I have had bad experience with him.
So I'm going to cut you off because we can't disclose people's personal business here, right?
Okay.
And although that's public disclosure, like we have no right to out anybody in this space.
Okay. I thought thinking
right?
of what
Like that's just not okay at all.
Okay.
And I won't stand for that as the co-chair.
No,
We're not
we don't
here
do
to
that
discover
here.
people's
No.
backgrounds. And actually, I'm glad that if that is the case, that he's here, because offenders are another population that is most vulnerable that don't have housing.
Okay.
People
I
do
have had
change
nothing
and
but
people
good
do
experiences
He has
with
recovery.
touched me. She has touched me. So if there's a meeting where he's
Christina,
at, I will not
you
be able
need to
be
take
there.
this to the police then. Christina,
I have.
this is not the
No,
forum.
Stop, Christy.
Okay.
Christy, stop. As the co-chair, I'm telling
I
you
will.
that you cannot talk like that in this meeting. I will not have that here. If anyone wants to talk like that, you will be muted and then removed from this meeting.
Confusion of the highest order.
Washington official blew up at a fellow board member who objected to a offender joining the committee, stating that she was glad that the convicted offender was nominated for the role. Ms. Colston, the co-chair for the King County Regional Homelessness Authority Continuum of Care Advisory Committee, over a Zoom call on May 3rd, where the group voted to approve a prospective board members, including 38-year-old Thomas Whitaker Ravenclaw Foot. Christine, a board member and an SA survivor, raised concerns with Whitaker's nomination as she expressed that she had a bad experience with him in the past. Quote, "We have a code of ethics on this board, and Thomas Crowfoot is an offender, repeat offender, and I have had a bad experience with him. And she is also a military veteran." Holston defended Whitaker while condemning the military veteran during a tense and fiery outburst in front of the group. Quote, "We can't disclose people's personal business here, right? Although that's public disclosure, we have no right to out anybody in this space. That's just not okay at all. I won't stand for that as a co-chair. We're not here to discover people's backgrounds. I am actually glad that this is the case, that he's here, because offenders are another population that is most vulnerable, that don't have housing. People do change." In 2012, Whitaker was convicted of communicating with a minor for immoral purposes. He was also convicted of harboring a minor, 13 years of age, who he had a relationship with, and was charged with an incident dealing with that minor in 2010. Board members interjected in a tense exchange and stated that the military vet needs to take this information to police and that, quote, "This is not the forum." As a co-chair, I'm telling you that you cannot talk like that in this meeting. I will not have that here. If anyone wants to talk like that, you will be muted and removed from this board meeting. Quote, "This is about equity for everyone. Everyone deserves housing. I don't care if they are an offender. I don't care if they're black. I don't care if they're indigenous. I don't care if they're a criminal. I don't care if they're coming out of jail or prison. Everyone deserves housing. When we talk about code of ethics at the COC board, we will be respectful of all people. The Kings County Regional Homeless Authority is a program designed to unify and coordinate policy, funding, and services for people experiencing homelessness."
Oh Lord.
Let me just be honest. This is not it. This is not it. At no point in time should the woman on the board have decided that this is the stance. This is the mountain that she wanted to speak upon. This was not that time. 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 You are literally having a woman tell you openly, like, "Hey, I've had issues with this guy before. He's a problem. He has a record. He does not need to be up here." and you have the other woman up there basically stating that she doesn't care. Whatever happened in the past is whatever that happened in the past. That has nothing to do with the housing or anything. No, it does. It does. It 1,000% does. You're going to give somebody housing, or more than likely they're a repeat offender, and they're going to attempt and potentially do the exact same things that they were locked up for twice, if not potentially 3 times. The third time, meaning when the lady listed that within the boardroom meeting, that she was trying to give them a warning. She was trying to give them a heads up, and they were not trying to listen. And I want people to pay attention. Those are 2 women that are on that board, and they're not listening to what it is that another woman has to state about what it is that this individual did. They're not listening. So again, going back to some of the things that I've stated in previous videos, whenever it is that women tell me that they care about other women and the things that women have been through and all of those things, this clear cut shows me that women do not care. They're literally siding with somebody who has a record, somebody who is a repeat offender, and you're going to give him housing more than likely in a neighborhood or in a surrounding area that has children and a school directly in that area. Like I said before, all of this stuff that people put up there is a farce. Women don't care about the things that happen to other women. They don't. They can advocate as much as they want to for it, and put all of this stuff on social media. But when it comes down to it, when you're actually able to hear women speak, this is what you get. That's 1,000% ridiculous. That's 1,000% ridiculous. Like I said, I don't think people have to. I'm not sure people can actually understand the type of energy that it actually takes for a person that has actually been through something to literally openly state that, knowing how it is that they might have to relive something or how it is that they feel about it, but they were like, you know what, I'm not going to care about myself right now. This is about other people. This is about putting out that warning. This is about putting out a flare or a smoke signal so that people know, like, hey, this is not a good thing to do. This is not the line that we really want to walk right now. This is not the thing that we really want to advocate for right now. This is just not it. And they didn't want to listen. And you heard how hard the other women on the board went on her. Ridiculous. And I read to you what she stated in the article. She was like, I don't care. She tried to throw everything in. I don't care if they're indigenous. I don't care if they're black. I don't care if they're coming just, out of jail and prison. I don't care if they are an offender. You're going to label all of those things in there, and those are separate from what it is that he's done. You're going to try to bring all of those things together as if they're the same, as if they share. They don't. They don't. Like I said, she is advocating. She is 1,000% advocating. Like I said before, I wonder what the individuals who had to deal with him. And this further proves that adults don't care about kids. I've been saying this for years, and I've said time and time again, if people want to disprove this fact, then you're free to put up the information. But we can go through historically, we can go through current news articles, past news articles, and we can even theorize on future articles. And it's going to be the exact same accounts of, what it is that takes place and who it is that's doing it. Like I said before, show me the people out here that really care about the kids, that really care about the children. Because obviously on this board, the adults there don't care. No matter what it is that you've done, they're still going to give you a chance. Why did they say that? Because people change. So he didn't change the first time. He didn't change the second time. And he didn't change the third time after, going after this military veteran. So how many times does it take for a person to potentially change? How many chances are you going to give an individual to see if they're the same exact person that they've always been, that they've always shown you to be? Like I said, I would love it if the videos that I do like this would actually, blow up and would go viral. But I know that's not the case. I know that's not the thing that is supposed to happen, because things like this are, it's an ugly, type of thing in society. So the algorithms and everything like that, they'll make sure, that these videos get as few, views as possible. They'll make sure that people in the subscriber base, few and far in between, will be able to actually see these things. And like I said before, that further proves the point that, I've been saying for the longest time possible, that, adults don't actually care.